With recent events revolving around the Great Divide of the Chaos Data Center, one can say that the effect is most evident in the weeks since. Lower retention on queues, less party finders overall, and a distinct emptiness in the ERP sectors of Eorzea. Well, so I hear. This preparation for the oncoming and potentially temporary player base for Shadowbringers means that the current players of Final Fantasy XIV have to suffer through the effects of the change until the expansion launches. Even then, once the shiny new goodies of the expansion begin to dwindle, what then happens to the player base and the two data centers? That is the big question. Needless to say, there's a tiny bit of silver lining in the current state of FFXIV, one revolving around PvP, specifically the Feast. Remember those top 100 items, top 100 only items, that players have always complained about? The main driving factor for why people do Feast in the first place? Well, this season, the season upcoming in 4.57, sometime mid-April, maybe this week, next week, well, without a doubt, it will have the lowest top 100 requirement, possibly in the history of Feast. The barrier to top 100 has already dwindled below 1,900 for the last few seasons, some seasons even dropping below 1,600 and lower. Now, when you split the entire data center into two, you can imagine that the score requirement is probably going to go right down. It wouldn't surprise me if it dropped below 1,200 to get into the mid-range of top 100. So if you've always had anxiety about putting time in and just falling short of those super rare rewards, fear not. For now is your opportunity to get one last super rare item and actually try out the Feast solo queue to see if you like it. Because God forbid, more than ever, we need an influx of players if PvP is going to survive in the expansion past daily roulettes. I don't particularly fear too much for frontlines, but Rival Wings and Feast is the one that is going to get hit the hardest. Well, it already kind of has been hit the hardest, with communities rallying up on Discord to arrange queue pops in the place of Square Enix's failed foresight to add these modes to the daily roulette to help player retention. If there's any historical reputation in how Square Enix deals with PvP, then we'll probably be waiting until the expansion to see any real solution to these issues. After all, it took 4 seasons to even have the idea, just the idea, of putting the old PvP maps back in for 4 vs 4, which were already in the game. And also completely butchering the 8 vs 8 mode, which was not only fun, but posed as a taster game mode for those who would want to do 4v4. So in the grand scheme of things, what the fuck Square Enix is all I can say at this point. Either way, the tiny bit of silver lining in this is that you could potentially get a super rare reward that only 100 other people on the data center will have. So now's your chance to get in there and start going ham. The reward itself should reveal itself in the next few days before the season starts. With the last season being in the Mad Max mount reskin, I feel as though this season will be based on some type of glamour or armor. Either way, we'll see. That's all I got. I feel people should get in there, whether it's the Light or Chaos Data Center, and add to the population of Feast PvP. Join the guide websites such as PvP Paisa, hit up PvP streamers such as Brian Ricardo to get a taste of it. Just go all in. It's probably the last chance of this PvP system before it all changes in the expansion, so why not? Let me know your thoughts in the description, and hopefully I'll see you on the field.